ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's debate. My name is Hattie Marshall and I'm the chairman, and Heather Quinn is the timekeeper. The adjudicator is Mr. Bronca. The topic for tonight's debate is that free-range and organic eggs are not all that they're cracked up to be. The affirmative team seated to my right is from St. Peter's Girls, and the negative team seated to my left is from Westminster School. The speaking time for this debate is 5 minutes. A warning bell will be sounded at 1 minute before the speaking time. A double bell will be sounded at the speaking time. A continuous bell may be rung at 30 seconds after the speaking time, in which case the speaker must sit down immediately. Please ensure that your mobile phones and other electronic devices are switched off. I declare this debate open and call upon the first affirmative speaker, Paris Robinson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that free-range and organic eggs aren't all they cracked up to be. We St. Peter's Girls have taken the affirmative side. We define tonight's topic as free-range eggs produced by chickens that are not confined in cages and are allowed to roam around outside or in sheds, and organic eggs as where the chickens are not fed antibiotics, steroids or animal byproducts. In order to not be what they're cracked up to be, organic and free-range egg companies must be failing to meet the standards portrayed by these eggs. Furthermore, this debate is not about whether free-range and organic eggs are necessarily better or worse than caged chicken eggs. Instead, we are debating that organic and free-range eggs are not what they are advertised to be. As first speaker tonight, I'll be talking to you about how the free-range and organic chickens are not treated as humanely as they may seem, and that the free-range and organic egg farms are not as strictly regulated. Our second speaker, Ellen, will then speak to you about the health benefits of free-range eggs and as well as the financial aspect of this debate. Our third speaker, Abby, will rebut the opposition and sum up our team's case. Now on to my first point, that free-range and organic eggs are not as humane as they are advertised to be. A survey conducted by the University of Melbourne's Agricultural Department found that 68% of people bought these free-range eggs for animal welfare reasons. One of the listed benefits of free-range and organic eggs are that the farming methods used are highly regulated and are beneficial for the chickens. However, this is simply not the case. Recently, the Australian government has announced new standards for free-range egg labelling. The guidelines, which should be followed by all egg farms labelling a product as free-range, state that there should be no more than 10,000 chickens per hectare. Both the RSPCA and the CSRO, however, strongly recommends a suitable amount should be no more than 1,500 hens per hectare for a welfare of the hens producing eggs. This is because it provides hens with an adequate space to engage in normal behaviours such as flapping their wings, which help them mentally and physically healthy. However, there are still some certified free-range farms that see up to not only 10,000 but 40 or 100,000 hens per hectare, partly due to Australia's loose legislation, which I'll discuss in my second point. This can cause an increase in diseases and the bird stress levels. Furthermore, the organic egg industry isn't much better either. Certified organic hens often undergo the same cruel processes many caged egg hens do. Debeaking, the process of cutting off the hen's beak with a hot knife, is still permitted, as well as dehorning and forced molting without painkillers. Some of these can cause both acute and chronic pain, leaving the hen in a similar and physical and mental distress as I mentioned above. Consequently, free-range and organic eggs are not all they're cracked up to be. My second point is that free-range and organic egg companies are not as strictly regulated as they may appear. The certification on a free-range or organic eggs is often one of the major selling points. When customers buy certified free-range or organic eggs, they are buying these with the assumption that the certification on the package has meaning and ensures the safety and health benefits of the eggs. However, this is certainly not the case in Australia. To begin with, Australian laws about what is and isn't free-range or organic is very vague, leaving the RSPCA very concerned about what these laws and legislations actually mean. Currently, the law states, egg laid by hens who have meaningful and regular access to an outdoor range are free-range. However, what does this actually mean? Some free-range chickens are given 4 hours a day, like Coles free-range eggs, whereas others, like Inglewood, are given 8 to 9 hours a day, meaning that what consumers can get under the same certification can widely vary. This provides little guidance, and as a result, the certification on a free-range eggs is infrequently better than that of a caged egg. Organic eggs have a similar issue. Although the legislations are stricter, there are many documented cases of farms, such as Swan Valley, Perth, in July this year, either using antibiotics in their eggs for medical reasons. This was reported by the ABC to not only due to the lack of legislation, but also due to the lack of governmental checks of the farms. These eggs are supposed to provide an advantage in that they give consumers peace of mind about what they are buying. However, there is weak legislation, and consequently these eggs offer little advantage over conventional caged eggs. In conclusion, it is very clear that free-range and organic eggs are not all they're cracked up to be, because the chickens are not treated humanely and are not as strictly regulated as you may think. Thank you.
I now call upon the first negative speaker, Nicola Boschnia.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that free-range and organic eggs are not all they cracked up to be. We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team. However, we would like to give our own definition for free-range. According to healthambition.com, an article written by Jim Dillon in 2011 stated that the definition of non-free-range eggs are chickens confined in areas within different not movement. Today's first speaker, I will be discussing how big companies and even the egg industry itself are shifting towards free-range and organic eggs, and how keeping chickens in cages is unethical and is seen as animal cruelty. The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that chickens are not treated as humanely as you think. As I will state in my second point, chickens are most definitely treated unhumanely. It's animal cruelty. They are not let out of the cages. How is this not humane? Now to my first point. Big companies and even the egg industry itself are shifting towards free and organic eggs. An article in the Sydney Morning Herald, a lifetime suffering to produce a dozen eggs, on the 12th of May by Lisa Chalk, the Director of Australian Animals Communications, states that already consumers, producers and the egg industry itself are shifting towards free-range and organic eggs. Coles and Woolworths have been pioneers in the trend towards free-range and organic eggs. Woolworths announced it would stop selling caged eggs by 2018. Coles has stopped selling caged eggs under its own brand, and it is aiming that the eggs on its shelves to be cage-free by the end of 2019. Therefore, it is caged eggs that are not all they cracked up to be, and strongly supports our team case. Extraordinarily, this article also states that New Zealand will end caged eggs by 2022. Major European chains such as Sainsbury and Aldi have stopped stocking caged eggs, and in the US, where cages are still legal, companies such as Sara Lee and Kraft are committed to phasing out caged eggs by 2018. Restaurant chains such as Wendy's and Subway are all moving to free-range eggs. Across the UK and Europe, McDonald's are using free-range eggs. This proves our argument that free-range and organic eggs are definitely all they cracked up to be. And now to my second point. Free-range and organic eggs come from chickens that have been humanely treated. Free-range eggs come from hens that have been housed in the shed and have access to roam in an outdoor area. Organic eggs come from chickens who are completely free to roam and express their natural instincts. The chicken eggs are natural and the birds are not harmed or abused. Constructionally, the Regenerative Leadership Institute states that the environment of caged eggs prevents the chickens from expressing any of their natural instincts, such as flapping wings or walking around and foraging in grass. The chickens stand on a wire grill and shares a cramped cage with several other chickens. According to the RSPCA website, in the article Cages Are Cruel, published on Monday the 5th of December 2016, the author Heather Neal states that feather loss, foot problems and brittle bones are common. It is extremely cruel to keep chickens cooped up in their cages, so free-range and organic is more animal-friendly option for eggs. Heather Neal goes on to say, "We are not trying to convince you our case by making you feel, oh, poor chickens. No, this is not an emotional blackmail. This is an undeniable fact. Free-range and organic eggs are all they cracked up to be without the cruelty towards chickens." So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we the negative team strongly believe that free-range and organic eggs are definitely what they cracked up to be.
I now call upon the second affirmative speaker, Ellen Zane.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As second speaker of tonight's debate, I'll be addressing the health and financial side of this debate. But before I begin, I would like to point out a few obvious flaws in the opposition's argument. The first speaker of the opposition's team stated that the treatment of chickens is inhumane. However, as our first speaker has already stated, organic hens and free-range hens still undergo similar processes such as debeaking, dehorning, and demolting, despite having such a label. The opposition also stated that big companies are moving to free-range and organic eggs, are selling more free-range and organic eggs. Ladies and gentlemen, this has absolutely no correlation to why free-range and organic eggs are what they are cracked up to be. This argument is completely irrelevant, and therefore, just because big companies stock free-range eggs doesn't mean that they are what they're cracked up to be. So now to my points. Firstly, free-range and organic eggs do not meet the health standard they are perceived to be. Free-range and organic eggs are commonly advertised and portrayed to have higher nutritional value. Benefits include less cholesterol and increased healthy fats like omega-3. These benefits have been emphasised through many media outlets like the BBC and ABC, as well as through the producers of the eggs. And in an age where there is a growing popular consciousness regarding organic and superfood products, this perceived facet of free-range and organic eggs makes them more desirable amongst consumers. However, research states that the nutritional value is not improved considerably at all from different farming procedures and techniques used for free-range and organic eggs. Writing in the journal Poultry Science, Dr. Anderson of North Carolina State University concluded that, quote, "a significant nutritional advantage of eggs produced by free-range chickens versus cage chickens could not be established." He said, quote, "the key takeaway from this research is that an egg, no matter where it's produced, is a nutritious product." Dr. Kenneth additionally compared the nutritional content of 500 eggs produced by the different methods over 2 years, organic, free-range and caged, and the team found that although the yolks of free-range and organic eggs were darker, they were not healthier. Levels of vitamin A needed for healthy skin and bones, and vitamin E, which is essential for protecting the body's cells, were exactly the same. This demonstrates that although free-range and organic eggs are still a healthy and nutrient-dense product, comparatively, this is no more so than regular caged eggs. Furthermore, not only have studies proven that free-range eggs and organic eggs have no significant nutritional differences at all in comparison to caged eggs, the larger issue follows with the environmental contaminants free-range and organic chickens are exposed to. Research in both the US and Australia at the University of Melbourne has shown that free-range chickens have higher levels of PCBs. Now, PCBs which are polychlorinated biphenyls, which are toxic chemicals that persist in the environment and accumulate in the food chain. USDA's immunologist and microbiologist Peter Holt stated that, quote, in California, a study of several different free-range and organic farms showed that chickens there had 100 times the PCB level of battery-caged chickens. Similar studies were replicated in Australia, however, this same phenomenon has yet to be found in caged eggs. I would like to reiterate that we are not arguing that free-range and organic eggs are certain to have negative impacts on consumers and hence caged eggs are better, but these eggs lack their perceived health benefit and commonly advertised by the media and egg corporations, and are not all they are cracked up to be. My second point is that the benefits of these eggs do not meet their financial worth. There is no doubt that free-range eggs and organic eggs are expensive. However, they are commonly argued to be worth this price, hence produce economy, premium and luxury products known as factory, cage-free and organic eggs, and consumers pay accordingly. The price of organic eggs doubles the price of normal cage eggs. However, the increased price of free-range eggs is due to the apparent increased labour and feed costs along with the greater amount of space needed. But the price of these eggs, organic in particular, derive from the advantages they are believed to have. A study by Choice Consumer Group in Australia analysed 93 different egg farms and found that the production costs of free-range eggs are often the same, if not marginally less than caged eggs. Customers are willing to spend more money on allegedly more ethical and healthier produce when in fact the health benefit is not considerably higher at all. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, for all the points I have stated, free-range and organic eggs are not all they are cracked up to be.
I now call upon the second negative team speaker, Tim Middleton.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that free-range and organic eggs are not all they cracked up to be. We, the negative team, disagree with this statement and believe that this statement is false. The first speaker has already tried to tell you that it's not as humane as they set it up to be. This is wrong, because they mentioned about the debeaking of chickens, but this is not related to the eggs overall. This is brutal towards the chicken, yes, but has nothing to do with the debate, as our points affects the development of eggs, which I'll be talking to you in my first point. The second speaker has already tried to tell you about the health benefits. This is wrong, because as I will say in my second point, there are a lot more nutrients in it according to the article by How Much Do You Pay for a Dozen of Organic Eggs, written by Vicky Moore. There is traces of more omega-3, more vitamin A and E. She also stated that the financial cost is too much, but this is wrong because it is only 18 to 20 cents more expensive to buy free-range eggs than caged. The source of this was a comparison of Woolworth's eggs, where they compared the caged eggs to the caged eggs to the organic ones. Our first speaker has already stated about the big companies and even the egg industry itself are shifting to free-range and organic alternatives. His second point was how keeping chickens in cages is animal cruelty. Today I'll be talking to you about 2 points. The first is to tell you about the chemicals found in caged eggs compared to the organic and free-range ones. And the second point is the huge health benefits of free-range and organic eggs compared to caged ones. Now to my first point. Free-range chickens produce healthier eggs as they can walk outside, spread their wings and lay eggs in nesting boxes, whereas the confinement of caged chickens threatens public health. Salmonella is a bacteria that may enter the human digestive system tract through contaminated food and cause abdominal pains and violent diarrhea. A number of major studies from the website More Earth News, an article called Meat Real Free-Range Eggs, written by Shrell Long in October 2007, said that battery cage production results in significantly higher risk of salmonella infection. The American Journal of Epidemiology did a major study on this in February 2011 and reported that people who recently ate eggs from cage hens had twice the odds of contracting salmonella. In 2010, the largest recall in US history occurred due to salmonella in battery cage operations. The Humane Society of America wrote an article on the 1st of August 2011 called Barren Cramp Battery Cages, written by Dr. Greger, an agricultural scientist. Dr. Greger states that the number of chickens in cages leads to the enormous volume of contaminated fecal dust that can spread this infection rapidly and contaminate the eggs. This stress caused to the chicken due to the confinement and being crippled in the cage, and they'll cripple the bird's immune system, which can cause a widespread infestations. We should not be eating caged eggs, as these chickens' poor living conditions manifest their eggs. In 2016, Coco Myers wrote an article called Are Eggs Everything They Crack Up to Be? On healthyliving.com. It is said that eggs are widely known for containing various amounts of chemicals fed to the chicken in advance of their gross egg production rate. Drugs such as steroids, mostly testosterone, which enhance a chicken's development rate, but these chemicals show up in the eggs, which we will end up ingesting. This is why organic eggs are better for us. Organic eggs come from chickens that must only be fed natural feed and only given antibiotics when necessary. Contrastingly, caged chicken increases the risk of disease in farms. According to Livestrong.com, an article called Benefits of Organic Eggs, written by Erica Cannell on February 1st, 2014, states that caged chickens are 3 times more likely to fall ill and therefore need to be regularly treated with antibiotics. Regular antibiotics given to a chicken also affects the egg. The chemicals in the eggs have a wide range of consequences for us humans. According to encyclopedia.com, did you know that there could be traces of testosterone and progesterone in these eggs, which can affect both men and women's sexual organs? Organic eggs are free of chemical residues commonly found in caged eggs, tainted by antibiotics and other harmful substances. Now to my second point, the health benefits of free-range and organic eggs far outweigh those of caged eggs. According to the website assistant called How Much Do You Pay for a Dozen Organic Eggs, written by Vicky Moores, said that organic and free-range eggs from chickens raised on pasture are much more nutrients and better for your overall health than eggs that come from caged birds. Free-range organic eggs also have 1/3 of the cholesterol and 1/4 saturated fat as caged eggs. According to Penn State University study in 2015, organic eggs are much higher in omega-3 fatty acids than caged eggs, which are good for the heart. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we the negative team have proven that free-range and organic eggs are definitely what they cracked up to be. Thank you.
I call upon the third affirmative speaker, Abby Lau.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I will be summarising my team's points, but first I would like to point out some flaws in the opposition's case. The first speaker has told you that Woolworths will end caged eggs by 2018. This may be true, but as my first speaker has stated, because of the unenforced regulations and false advertising, it doesn't mean that they are not inhumanely treated. Therefore, just because the label states free-range or organic doesn't guarantee that animals are treated humanely. Chickens raised on organic or free-range farms are typically transported to the same slaughterhouses as factory farms. Some chickens are housed in flocks of up to 120,000, according to the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. Some chicken farmers are placing up to 40,000 birds in a hectare of land, when regulations state that they should only be holding 12,000. These are all facts that my first speaker has already talked about tonight. The opposition's second speaker has tried to tell you that organic eggs are fed with natural feed, but chemicals that are found in normal chicken feed, such as polychlorinated biphenyls, are found in the soil and plants free-range and organic chickens eat if they get the chance to explore the outside. So while there is no evidence suggesting regular eggs suffer contamination from their feed, and with the possibility that free-range chickens can attain similar substance from roaming outside, there is no reason for organic eggs to have the amazing health benefits that we all assume they do. Approximately 800,000 chickens on a free-range farm in the UK, who are required to let their chickens spend approximately 8 hours outside, show that the maximum amount of chickens outside at one time was only 15% of that 800,000. This is because chickens actually prefer shaded areas and avoid the bright sun. Despite this, chickens of free-range and organic farms still must face cruel treatment, like live transportation, having their beaks cut off, lung diseases, breast blisters, and many more. A chicken that faces these cruelties would certainly not be feeling any less stressed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the facts straight. These are chickens we are talking about. We as a population are always growing more and more. People are falling below the poverty line. We as a society need to control our farming procedures and make enough eggs for the population's demand. According to the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, 300 million eggs are used a year. This means that we need to create that many eggs a year. So why would we pay more money for eggs that are labelled free range when they are being treated the same as caged eggs? So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight my team has given forward arguments about why free range and organic eggs aren't all they're cracked up to be. My first speaker has talked about how free range and organic eggs and chickens are not treated as humanely as they may seem, and how free range and organic eggs aren't strictly regulated. My second speaker has spoken to you about the advertised health benefits and the financial aspects of free range and organic eggs. So because of these points, ladies and gentlemen, we the affirmative team agree that free range and organic eggs aren't all they're cracked up to be. Thank you.
I call upon the third negative speaker, Hannah Venturi.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for this debate is that free-range and organic eggs aren't all they're cracked up to be. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. The first speaker has tried to tell you that free-range and organic eggs are not as humanely treated as they should be. The government is taking serious measurements to rid of producers that do not follow the requirements to be classified as a free-range egg. A huge egg business, Snowdale, owning brands by Ella, Swan Valley Free Range and Wanneroo Free Range, was penalised with $1 million. This proves that the government is now realising the importance of the requirements to be free range and finding companies that do not properly follow the law. This too happened recently, this year in June 2017, proving that we are now being more aware and being strict, not loose. The second speaker has tried to tell you that the company shifting to free range is irrelevant. Shifting to free range promotes how these chickens are treated drastically better than those confined in cages. If they are not all they're cracked up to be, why are the companies switching to free range? This means it is relevant. She also said that no matter the egg, it is still nutritious. The diet of chickens affects the eggs drastically, along with the chemicals given. Caged eggs, for example, are fed processed, genetically modified diets, whilst organic are fed organic feed. This surely affects the quality of the egg, like we reproduce depending on the nutritious foods we eat. The second speaker has also tried to tell you that caged eggs don't cost as much as organic eggs. As our second speaker has rebutted, due to our research, there is only a 10 to 20 cents difference per 100 grams according to Woolworths and Coles. For a few more cents, you can stop animal cruelty and you can have more healthier vitamins for your body. Finally, the third speaker has mentioned that chickens prefer shade rather than sun, but she failed to provide evidence supporting this case. She said, let's get the facts straight, but how do we know if they're facts if she hasn't provided evidence? Our first speaker has spoken about how big companies and even the egg industry itself are shifting towards barn-laid, free-range and organic alternatives. Free-range and organic eggs should be the preferred choice. The egg industry itself are becoming aware of the negative aspects to caged eggs. They are cheaper, but that's about it. Companies more aware are switching to organic and free-range, knowingly healthier, treated better, and given chances outdoors. Would you rather stick with eggs that contain harmful chemicals? Our second speaker explains further on. The more companies switching to free-range and organic, the less caged eggs there'll be, a win-win for the chickens and the buyers. He also spoke about how keeping chickens in cages is animal cruelty and that their eggs aren't naturally good for us. All livestock is confined to some extent, so the animals do not escape, but chickens restricted in tiny cages is nowhere near acceptable. As he says, chicken needs a natural habitat to live normally so they can lay eggs naturally. The diet these chickens are fed are unhealthy, and being trapped in a cage with basically no space to move will surely affect the goodness of the eggs, in which it does. Our second speaker has spoken about how the chemicals found in caged eggs compared to free-range or organic eggs. Free-range chickens are able to produce healthier eggs. They can engage in movement and do not affect the public health. Though caged eggs are widely known for containing chemicals, chickens caged are easily prone to germs accumulating, therefore getting sick easy. This, in which he has mentioned, increases the risk of disease in those farms. This will not only affect the eggs, but also the livestock in the farm. When we consume these eggs, we too are consuming the chemicals fed to them, along with the other hazardous chemicals with dangerous effects. This is indeed a case which people are fortunately becoming well informed of. He has also spoken to you about the health benefits for free-range and organic eggs. Free-range and organic eggs are known to have a better variable diet and access to outdoor movement. The eggs are better nutritionally in contrast to chickens that engage in basically no exercise and are fed the same diet. Our second speaker spoke about the nice list of nutritional values. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that free-range and organic eggs are what they're cracked up to be. They are the best alternatives. If companies are switching from caged eggs, though slightly more expensive, so should you, to benefit for yourself, the chickens, and their eggs. Thank you.